what's up guys, it's Mike with Alpha Reptile, back from another video today. Today we got my friend Codyjoes, welcome back. If you guys haven't seen the first tour of his old place, I'll leave a link up here for you guys to go check out, but we're here in a new place, Cody. You wanna, what's new, what's cracking?
So this is the shop. Over the last year and a half, we opened up the store slash breeding facility. So right now we're kind of in like the display portion of the store.
I'm gonna be behind the camera. Cody's gonna be chatting about what is behind me here that you guys can see. Really exciting rare animals here. Let's get going.
First up top, we got our guy Link. He's a green tree monitor, Varanus prasinus. He was an import that we raised up from a little hatchling. So we got him in the store. We're growing up a girlfriend for him. He's lounging, cuddling himself up in the top there. Next over, we got one of the pairs of Chinese crocodile lizards, the Shinosaurus crocodilurus. This is a male and a female in here. 230 gallon display. 6 foot long, 2 foot front to back, and 2.5 foot tall. I actually originally built this for a customer for a baby water dragon. Cement background, waterfall goes down to the sump. Yeah, seems to do the trick for them. Got some guppies breeding in there. They don't touch them, they're just display. You can see, this is the boy here. And then a gravid female right next. Literally perfect tank for the shinnies. So I don't know if he'll be out. This is a blue tree monitor, male. Super old guy, just a pet. He's totally blind, but he does great. Just tongue feed him. He's a monster too. I wish he was out. But of course, whenever anybody's filming, he's not out.
Yeah, never. Dimensions on this. This is a massive deep tank.
Yeah, this is one, I originally built it, it was 2 cages that I just cut the back out of one and screwed it on the other one. So now the dimensions are 4 foot by 4 foot by 6 foot tall. Nice. Honestly, with him, like after seeing him in here, when he's out and about, in 2 minutes he's touched every square inch of that cage. So I really couldn't imagine him in anything smaller. He really makes use of it. Over here we got some translucent veiled chameleons. Female's blacked out because she's laying eggs. Well, she's pregnant, she's nesting. So down here we've got a big male having a bit of a shed. He's cool, he's about 2 years old, that guy. And then coming around, we got one last like display, and that's another pair of Chinese croc lizards, the Shinosaurus. This one is 4 foot by 2 foot by 4 foot. Same thing, it is filtered, got a sump underneath. Got a female hanging out here, a little bit less colorful. And then male hanging out in the back there. He's a big guy, that one. And yeah, from there, this half is kind of pretty much all store. So a bit of dry goods and stuff on this side. Kind of call it snake roll on the bottom there. And then some snakes up top, like a little blood python. There was a monkey tail in here, but she just sold. And then these are kind of a little frog row here. I haven't installed lights on that level yet, so it's a little bit dark. And then just some morning geckos. And then a little female Jackson chameleon hanging out in the bottom there. And moving down, just a pair of crested geckos in there hanging out. Bobtail iguana hanging out inside the rock. Everybody's kind of sleeping right now. These are some little baby peach throat monitors. You might be able to get a shot in. You know, all kinds of different lizards, some crested geckos, captive bred green basilisks, another female captive bred green tree monitor from Canadian Cold Blood. This girl we're raising up, we'll eventually pair her up with our male. She's pretty awesome.
I know you, I know you.
It's like, hey,
hey, give me some pets.
Yeah. Like I thought we were filming me. This is kind of cool. This is a female Solomon Island tree boa. Staying cool as well. It's a little bit warm in here right now, hot day. Gold dust day gecko hanging out in the back. Tip, if you ever do a store, don't do black cages because all the animals are dark most of the time. Some red-eyed tree frogs hanging out on the back of the leaves. More geckos, gargoyle geckos, bearded dragons, all your kind of common stuff. Got a female emerald swift hanging out on the mesh as they like to do. Like that. Wow.
Gnomes?
Yep. What I like to call the poor man's lychee.
Just as crazy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Beautiful though.
Male melanistic Jewel Lacerda having a shed.
He is for sale.
He really likes you if you bring him superworms. That's about it.
There you go. And what are you standing in front of?
This is one of my favorite lizards. Might be able to get in there and get a shot of her. This is a female, they call it like a New Guinea spotted monitor. Varanus similis is the Latin on there. Super rare little monitor, not a lot of people breeding them. If you know of any males, let me know, I'll take them. But yeah, she's great, that's a full grown female. Just an awesome little lizard. It's kind of like, almost like an axanthic Timor monitor. False water cobra. They also call him a Brazilian smooth snake. It's Hydrodonastus gigas. Super cool species.
And this guy's like a hold back or...
Yeah, so I just recently got these again. Like, I mean, I always kind of had them growing up. And I got this pair for a nice deal, so I'm just going to raise them up. The male's just a yearling. Well, probably a bit older than that now. Yeah, so raising them up, I like them. Super cool display snake, real active. Eat absolutely everything.
The garbage disposals.
Literally, yeah.
Alrighty, so at this point, Cody and I ended up going downstairs and touring around the rest of the rooms in his facility. These are more his breeder facilities, as well as his, there's some fish tanks coming up and many other things. So let's get downstairs and start talking about some really wicked snakes.
So this...
What do we have here, Cody?
Is a baby maclot python, Liasis macloti or macloti. We produce these guys. This is a wicked snake. The problem is people get a little turned off because they're one of those ones that has babies. They're quite nippy. But as soon as they get as thick as your finger, they totally just grow out of it. Like, you don't even have to tame them. So this is a holdback of mine. I do have a whole bunch of babies. I got another clutch that just hatched too, if anybody's interested. But they're great. Like, it's another species that just comes in wild caught constantly. Not a ton of people really put much energy into breeding them, but they're amazing, amazing little pythons. And they're quite variable too. Like, this one's like super high black, whereas some of them, I can even pull out one of the babies that I just hatched from a different female, and all these babies have more of like a kind of brown green wash to them instead of the black.
Can you give some care tips on them?
This is an Indonesian python. They're actually really hardy. They do like, you know, a bit of humidity. I usually keep them roughly around 60% humidity. And then it'll peak obviously higher to like 80% when I mist them. For most of these cages, I usually just mist them once a week. It's just a style caging I have. It holds the humidity really good. I keep them on coconut husk. I've kept them on newspaper. I've kept them on aspen. They do good either way. They're super hardy python. I find these guys, they don't like crazy hot basking. Anywhere from like 86 to 88 they like. In my bigger cage, I give them up to 90, but they don't use it that often. And then I keep it an ambient of about 80 degrees. So they're quite variable in size. They're one of those species that's like, you could see one that's 6 feet and full grown, and you could see ones that are closer to 10 foot, but very lean bodied. So amazing too, and they just feel like velvet. But eat anything, they eat every time. They're just a solid little python. Like I love them. And then they're obviously relative to the olive python and the savu python. They're very closely related to the savus. They're basically just like a larger version. So this is a baby from the clutch that I just hatched. And you can see it's quite different in appearance. It's less black with spots. It's kind of more of just an overall olivey green kind of color. So they're quite variable. But yeah, just an awesome little species. Super iridescent, super soft, and easy. Like, they never get sick. Like, they're a great python.
And how can they get in contact with you if they're interested in buying some?
We got the store Facebook, which is the Reptile Shop Red Deer, where I do most of like the advertising for our breeding stuff. The store I don't really showcase, unfortunately enough, of like what we breed behind the scenes. But the Instagram is the biggest where you'll see all this stuff. So it's the_reptile_shop. Now there's some other ones that are just the reptile shop _. Those aren't ours.
I'll leave links to everything down below too.
Yeah. Either one of those pages, fire me a message, and yeah, we can talk about any of that stuff.
Cool.
So this is the mother to that smaller baby there.
It's a perfect size.
Yeah, it's a great python. Like, she's, I don't know, 6 or 7 feet maybe. Yeah, like, great snake. You can see the iridescence. Like, they got that head that's a little bit of a different color. And again, just super soft and iridescent. Like, it's my favorite part about them. And this is pretty typical. Like, this is a good sized female. Most don't get bigger than this. You get the occasional one that gets quite large. But it's probably like anything. It's the way you feed it. You get some boas that are massive, and it just so happens that those are from guys that feed a whole whack load.
Yeah.
So, but 6-7 foot usually.
Get yours today at the Reptile Shop. Let's go. What's this, Cody?
So this is a savu python, which is Liasis savuensis. The close relative to the maclot python. It's basically like a miniature maclot python. The only real difference is these guys hatch out like an orange color. And then typically as they grow, they'll get more and more black. Some go jet black, some keep a bit of orange. And then the eyes go like a really nice whitey silver kind of color. This is honestly another incredible species because very few people breeding them. This year was actually, like, worldwide a pretty good year for savu production. You know, this is a smaller full-grown female, so they don't get very big. Super easy, just like the maclots. You know, they shed good, they feed really well, and they're just an easy snake. They're usually, in my experience, like, they're known to have a bit of a nippy reputation, but I've got 6 of them and every single one of them is tame. So this girl just laid, not just about, roughly a month ago, she laid 7 eggs for me. And then I do also have another female who kept a ton of orange. She's about half orange still. She just had her pre-lay shed a couple days ago. So I do have a second clutch on the way. First clutch is all already spoken for, so in case you're gonna ask, they might not be available. But just an amazing little python.
Absolutely. And just because we're here, what exactly are we standing in front of?
This is just a temporary peach throat monitor cage that I put together until my monitor basement is built. There's a female burrowed down, but there's a young male that I've been raising up hanging out on the branch. So this is a tiny little male water python, which is Liasis fuscus. I kind of jokingly to myself paired him with like a 8-foot female this year. And actually ended up getting 21 eggs, 17 were fertile. And yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Oh my god, it's a vicious monster, Cody.
Ah, it's a northern, it's gonna hurt me. This is actually kind of a unique girl. If you look close, she's got like a ton of black. Yeah. And then gray scales coming in. The sibling to this one actually, I bought it as a genetic black.
Yeah.
And the sibling, as a baby, like when it went through its color change, turned black. And then she's just kind of as she's getting older, she's getting more and more black hue. It's kind of hard to see, like, unless you're in person. But
How old is she?
5? Something like that. That's awesome. They always will try and like get a grip and hook their nose over you, and their teeth just dig into you.
What do we have here, Cody?
So this is a female southern or black white-lip python. This is a wild-caught female. She's got me a little confused. Like, I had them breeding. She ovulated, had her pre-lay shed. She was due to lay on the 1st, but she didn't lay. But I can feel 8 massive, they're not even follicle, like, I can feel 8 big old eggs in there. So I'm just kind of riding her out, seeing what's going on with her. The cool thing is people always say blacks are tame and golds are not. It's not really true. I've had probably 10 or 15 blacks, and this is the only dog tame one. I'm not gonna bother too much, but yeah. Whereas golds, I've had, you know, like 5 or 6 tame golds and like 10 nasty ones. But beautiful, beautiful snake. This one is not tame. So just because it's a black does not mean it will be tame in any way, shape, or form. She's absolutely nuts. But this is a gravid female. She just had her pre-lay shed like last night. So within a month, she should hopefully lay some eggs. I wouldn't bother really inquiring unless it's a very male-heavy clutch. There probably won't be any available. Definitely not females, that's for sure. But inquire, because we could potentially get 2 clutches. Yeah, so this is a Bahama Boa, which is basically, well, it's not an exanthic Dominican Red Mountain Boa, but it's what it reminds me of. They're same family. It used to be Epicrates, it's now Chilobothra, or Chilobothris, Striata strigulatus. But yeah, very close relative to the Dominican. Just another mid-sized boa. Like, this is a smaller female. They can get a decent size. They're kind of shaped like a rainbow boa, a little bit leaner. These were the first group in Canada, so hopefully we can make some babies. And there's another, like, Canadian mouse man also, I believe, might have a gravid female right now. So hopefully there'll be more of these guys after this season. But super cool boa. The babies apparently are lizard feeders, so it'll be interesting to see how they are to get started. But yeah, just a neat little boa. So that's a Dominican Red Mountain Boa. It's another, same thing, kind of a smaller size boa species, similar to a rainbow boa. These guys are usually like around the 6-7 foot mark. I don't know if they've been produced yet in Canada or not. I don't believe so. So it'll be cool, but they're really variable. Like, you'll get some that end up more orange, some end up a little bit more brown, some are like a deep blood red. So we'll see kind of what the babies end up like. But those guys are known to actually have up to like 40 babies, which is pretty cool for a smaller boa. Yeah. But same thing, they're supposed to be lizard feeders, so it'll be interesting getting them started. But I'm pretty excited for it. Just a neat little boa. They're a little bit messy, kind of like a colubrid. There's a lot of urate in the cage quite often. Yeah, I just really like them. Cool boa. This snake sometimes will be black. When they're in shed, they literally turn bright blue. They're cool, they have black skin, they have a black mouth. So sometimes they'll be light green like this with like stripes down their flanks. Whereas other times, yeah, she's like almost black. They're known to be gentle giants. I don't know, like, mine go through phases of being whack jobs. So let's see how we can do this. She doesn't look like she's in her I'm gonna kill you mode. I think we're good. And they're really cool because they're like a really nasally snake. Like a gaboon viper. But I can't, with this particular one, you can't make any pressure points or anything because she will get a hold of you and she will not let go.
Guesstimates on how long she is? 12 feet?
Yeah, last I measured, she was 12 foot and her skin was 14 and a half foot.
Oh, wow.
And then she's put on a bit of size since then too, so I don't know, 12, 13 foot, something like that. Like, it's honestly deceiving until she stretches out.
Oh yeah.
But when she gets stretched out, like, she's a big snake. These guys are said to be probably pound for pound one of, if not the strongest snake species. And like when you hold them, like,
how's your hand feeling?
Yeah, she's not even trying, she's just hanging on, and my hand is...
You're not holding her.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
But incredible python species, like, they're just super curious. They've got that unique head, super long forked tongue. My problem with her, this one in particular, is a little bit bad. Like, if she gets a whiff of something, she'll just grab onto it. So that's why I'm not really letting her mouth touch me. But she's just an incredible species. The problem with these guys too, only a few people have really bred them. And very few males come in. They're all wild caught. And it's all females for the most part, and they're cannibalistic. They eat a lot of other snakes in the wild. A lot of guys have lost males trying to breed them. Currently, I've got 3 females and 1 male. My male is only about 9, maybe 10 feet. Not as thick as this, so I'm very nervous to try him. Because, as I was telling you earlier, this snake in particular has smashed numerous cleaning bins because she just gets a whiff of another snake and she's all over it, so. But awesome, like, I don't know, like that head is just like a, it doesn't even look like it's part of this snake, you know?
No, it doesn't.
Big old forked tongue.
They're super nasally, hey?
Very nasally.
Yeah. Yeah, they just, like, oh my goodness. Let me check her out, like, she's pretty. She's a really good sized snake.
A handful for one person.
But just the color, and again with the iridescence, like, a phenomenal snake. But you can feel how strong she is, hey, for like
that's a lot.
A pretty skinny snake. She's all muscle.
Very nasally.
Sounds like pistons, like.
Yeah, and you can feel too, like, because anywhere she's wrapped, she's like flexing. She's got a grip.
She's strong. She's like retic strong.
Oh yeah.
Nope.
And these guys in the wild, they're known to eat scrub pythons, other papuans, anything really.
Beauty. Oh yeah, that's a good charm. Something you definitely don't see in Canada or really the world very often.
No, there's not a lot of people really trying the papuans.
What?
So this is a little newborn Dumerals Boa that was recently born here. Awesome little boas. They stay relatively small, usually. I did one time have a 10-foot female, which is like almost unheard of. But on average, 6 foot for these guys. They're really consistent little boa. They're usually quite tame. One thing with these that's kind of interesting is they're a CITES 1 or Appendix 1 animal. They're from Madagascar, so it's whatever is in the country, that's all we have. We can't really send them out or bring any more in. But they're wicked, obviously being a boa, they're live birth. This one, 13 was in this litter, 13 babies, which is a pretty good litter for a Dumerals. They usually have like kind of smaller litter, like my other female has 7 babies. But they're awesome, like, same thing as the other ones. Pretty easy going boa. They like a bit of humidity. They don't like it super warm. They like it kind of upper 70s, low 80s. Really easy to look after though. Like I said, they're usually not very aggressive. This is a really pretty one. It's got a lot of connected, like every pattern on its face is connected, which I think is kind of cool.
Just hybrids and stuff?
Yeah, so these are just hybrids I made. They're They're like marble hybrids. I think the dad is like maybe like Tytula B or something weird like that. I don't know what the dad is. But the mother's a marble. And so these are kind of the more Matoro-y looking babies. So these are, this one's not, but that's a sibling. So you can see very extreme. Nice.
And then, can you explain what's in here, in the big boy tank?
These are, as first is the Asian Arowana. They call this like a yellowtail emerald. This particular type is quite aggressive. Even this guy, like, anytime you move him from tank to tank, he'll literally like shred his own tail for like 6 months until he mellows out. But really pretty fish. These guys are pearl stingrays. The male is obviously a visual albino. These females are heifer albino. This female, who's a little chewed up from breeding, I believe is pregnant right now. So ideally, like roughly 25% of the babies should be visual albino. These are just raw silver sides. And you'll see they go crazy for them.
And what size tank are they in?
This one I believe is about 340 gallons. It's 8 feet long, 40 inches front to back, and 2 foot tall. But these guys are, I'm getting a 9 foot by 6 foot by 3 foot tall. And these guys will be going into there. Give them a little bit more space.
Sweet.
And yeah, the reason why there's 2 FX5 canister filters on there currently is I just had one of my panels break out of my sump. So I had to fix it, so until I know that's fully stable again, I'm just leaving the canisters on there for additional filtration. So these are some larger rays. This is the hybrid male. This is actually the dad to a lot of those ray pups. And this is the mother here, the marble. And you can see she's used to being hand-fed. So the other females are regular Matoro stingrays, and then the little black one in the back, it's not black, but that's another marble Matoro. And then a biggie dog, he likes to check out his rays. And then these are some rays that were born over the last couple of days. So this is 2 separate batches. You can see these 3 that look a little bit different are hybrids. And the other ones are pretty much pure Matoros. The dad's a marble Matoro. But when they're born, there's not a lot of color in yet. So over the next couple of weeks, the color's really going to come in, and then you'll be able to see the spots, and the actual base color will turn more of a gray or tan color.
Nice.
And then probably get really bad reflection in this room.
Yeah.
That is a albino silver Arowana. He beat himself up a little bit the other night, jumping during a water change. But. And this is just an older holdback of mine. That's another hybrid that I made with those other 2 stingrays.
Please forgive me for not filming a outro at Codyjoes' place. It was 6 hours of reptile fun. We ended around midnight, and Bree and I had to be back because she actually took a flight the next morning. I want to thank Cody very much for dedicating his time and his evening to Bree and I. If you want to follow Cody on Instagram or anything, links are in the description down below. Hit him up if you're interested in a Macklot's Python or a Dumerals or Maybe savus if he's got any left. I kind of doubt it though. So I want to thank you guys all very much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure you show your support by clicking the like button as well as clicking the subscribe button right next to it. That shows me that you guys want to see more of my content and enjoy this tour style video. I do have several more coming your way, so I don't know exactly how often I'm going to be releasing them, but probably at least once or twice a month. I'm definitely very excited, so I hope you guys are too. Thank you guys all very much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Later.